The fire blazed like a monster in the night, roaring through the grand Preston estate as if it were made of paper. Its orange jaws reached for the sky, consuming decades of wealth in minutes. Sirens wailed in the distance, too far to offer immediate help. But amid the panic, screaming, and choking smoke, one figure did not run. Maria Alvarez, barefoot, soot-faced, and shaking with fear, burst through the thick haze on the second floor with nothing but a wet cloth pressed to her mouth and a child in her arms. The child was 7-year-old Nathan Preston, the only son of billionaire Raymond Preston. Maria had worked in the Preston mansion for 3 years. To the Prestons, she was just the help, just another face in a rotating cast of maids, barely acknowledged. But to Maria, the job was everything. It kept her daughter fed and her sick mother on medication back in Mexico. Yet tonight, none of that mattered. Tonight, a boy was trapped. And she was the only one who dared to go back in. The day had started like any other. The estate buzzed with quiet routine, marble floors polished to a mirror shine, crystal chandeliers gleaming above, and a silence that whispered wealth. Maria had spent her morning wiping windows that overlooked gardens she could never walk in freely. Nathan had waved to her from the hallway as he ran to his piano lessons. His smile was her sunshine. Despite his status, Nathan had always been kind, offering her small smiles, sometimes sneaking her a cookie from the kitchen, and once, drawing her a picture of her and his dog with crayon hearts. No one else in the house noticed Maria. But Nathan did. That night, as she was folding sheets in the laundry room, the first alarm rang. Smoke. Then screams. She ran out and found chaos, flames leaping from the east wing, where the nursery and bedrooms were. People were already fleeing. The nanny was hysterical. The butler shouted about calling 911. No one had seen Nathan. Maria didn't hesitate. She wrapped a wet bedsheet around her body, tore off her shoes, and sprinted into the burning house. The heat clawed at her skin. The floorboards scorched her feet. She coughed, eyes watering, vision swimming, but she kept going. She found Nathan huddled under his bed, crying, whispering for his mom. The wallpaper peeled, the curtains crackled with fire. Mi niño. I've got you, she gasped, pulling him close. The journey back down was a blur of searing heat and instinct. The smoke stole her breath, the staircase collapsed just behind them, and just when her legs were about to give, a firefighter grabbed them both from the doorway. And then, silence. The cool air hit her like salvation. Paramedics swarmed. Someone took Nathan from her arms. Cameras flashed. But then, something happened. Raymond Preston, towering, furious, ran past the paramedics. When he saw Nathan safe, his face contorted with a strange mixture of relief and rage. Then he looked at Maria. Her clothes burned, hair frizzled, arms covered in Nathan's soot, and his voice rose. Who let her touch my son? Maria froze. Those were the 2 words. Her. Touch. Her heart sank. She had just saved his son's life. Risked everything. And still, she was just the maid, and untouchable. The cameras caught her expression, a mix of shock, hurt, and humiliation. She didn't cry. Not in front of them. Not after that. She quietly stood, turned, and walked toward the ambulance alone, collapsing inside it without another word. The news ran wild the next day. Flames and grace, Maid rescues billionaire's son. She saved him, and he shamed her. Social media exploded with anger, praise, and support. Hashtags like #HeroMaid and #MariaSavedHim trended for days. Interviews flooded in, but Maria refused them all. She wasn't interested in fame. She just wanted to recover, and return to her daughter. But the story didn't end there. 3 days later, Maria was discharged. She returned to the small studio apartment she shared with her cousin in Queens. Her arms were bandaged, and her lungs still ached, but her spirit, that had taken the worst hit. That night, a knock came. When she opened the door, a boy leaped into her arms. Nathan. Behind him stood Raymond Preston. His eyes were not the same as they had been that night. They were red-rimmed. Humbled. In his hands, he held a framed picture. Crayon drawing. It showed Maria holding Nathan's hand, standing in front of a big house. Above them was a heart and one word written by a child. Family. Maria's lips trembled. Raymond cleared his throat. I was wrong, he said softly. I was angry. Scared. And stupid. Maria didn't speak. He continued, you risked your life for my son. Not even my own staff, not even me, did that. All I could think of was, image. You thought only of love. He stepped aside, revealing a woman with silver hair behind him. This is my mother, he said. She insisted we come. Said I had forgotten who raised me. The old woman nodded, tears in her eyes. We don't find angels in silk gowns, Maria. We find them in ashes. Maria finally broke. The tears came, soft, cleansing, real. A week later, Maria and her daughter moved into the Preston estate, not as staff, but as family guests. Her mother received full medical care, paid for anonymously. It wasn't charity. It was gratitude. Raymond offered her anything she wanted, money, position, luxury. But Maria asked only for a scholarship. I want to become a nurse, she said. So I can help others, like I helped Nathan. Raymond nodded, eyes glistening. You'll be the best nurse this city has ever seen. Years passed. Maria graduated with honors. Nathan attended her graduation, beaming. At the ceremony, during her speech, Maria shared. People will forget your job title, your clothes, or where you came from. But they will never forget your courage. Compassion burns brighter than any flame. And unlike fire, it heals. The auditorium rose in applause. And somewhere in the back, Raymond stood silently, his hand over his heart, beside his mother, who smiled with pride. Epilogue. Nathan grew into a young man, driven and kind-hearted. He often spoke of the night that changed his life, not the fire, but the angel who carried him through it. Maria never became a celebrity. She never accepted interviews or reality show offers. But she became something greater. She became a symbol, of courage without condition, of dignity without demand. And on every birthday, Nathan sent her a card. Not with gifts. Just 2 words. Thank you. This time, her heart melted, not from pain, but from grace. Heroes aren't born from riches, but from love. And sometimes, the quietest soul carries the loudest fire, the fire that saves.